Luang Po tries to teach you all the principle of practice. If you get the practice, the essence of the practice, please go observe yourself. To practice, in the beginning, is to prepare your mind to be ready to cultivate the wisdom. The mind that is ready to cultivate the wisdom is the knower, the one that is awakened and joy. It is the observer. If it's the actor itself, you cannot do it. Because our mind normally is the actor. We think about this, we talk about that. Think about this, about that throughout the day. So change from thinking scatteredly to a knower. The characteristics of the knower is gentle, soft, nimble, active, agile, not lazy. If you practice and you just stay calm and not like to be active, that's not good. And it has a characteristic of being honest to know all the phenomena. Like you don't like to hear this, you don't like to see that. When you come into contact into the world, just know it honestly. Like don't feel like biased with it, like being like it or doesn't like it. There are a lot of characteristics of the knower. It's light, it's nimble, it's gentle, it's active, agile, it's workable, doesn't get lazy, and honest to know all the phenomenon. Be honest to the phenomena and be impartial to all the phenomena. Before knowing, don't wait for it to arise. When you know it impartially. This is called know it honestly. Just know it as it is. And when you know it, just don't jump down into the things that is known. Normally, when we know anything, our mind tends to slip down into those objects. Like we see a person walking by, our mind would just slip to see that person. Slip into the things that we see, the smell that we get to smell, the thoughts that we think, whatever we think about, we just be obsessed in those world of thinking. That is not good. That is lost into the world. The approach to get to be the knower is to have an object, a mental object. Can be anything. It can be reciting Putto, Putto, or you can walk to do the walking meditation, the breathing meditation, or you can observe the feelings honestly. Some people can do that, but for some people cannot observe the mind honestly, directly, because the mind doesn't have enough power. You can recite the word Putto, Putto, that's easy. Or breathing, observe the breathing. You can use, you can use the mind as the mental object, but it's more difficult. In case for Luang Po used the mental object, observe the mind. So we pick up a mental object and we observe when the mind slips off from the mental object. Like we recite the word Putto and the mind slips off to something else, we just know that it slips off. If we do not intend to think about the word Putto, then normally the mind just slips to think about something else. When the mind slips off, it's very difficult to observe that, oh, the mind slips off. So if we have Butto in the mind, reciting the Butto, 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 then we know that it slips off. The same thing as the breathing. We observe the breathing in order that we know that when the mind slips off from the breathing, then we know that it slips off. So it cannot be too loose. Like you don't to be too focused on the word Butto, and don't let the mind lost without knowing Butto. So don't get to be too focused or too loose. When the mind slips off and you know it, at that moment, the mind will be able to detect the moment that it slips off. Sometimes you try to wait, and if you tend to wait to see, it might be hard to detect. But if you just stay naturally relaxed, the mind just slips off naturally, and you just detect it. Just let it go out and know so. Let it go. Let it slip off and know so. Do not try to hold it or control it. The mind that is not too loose or too focused, you don't have intention to watch, and when you know it, you don't jump down or slip down into looking to it. You have to let the feelings arise first, the object arise first, and then you know it afterward. So for the knower, if there is anything for you to feel, to sense, just know so. But before the phenomena arises, just don't wait for it. And when you know it, don't jump down or slip down into it or mess with it. We normally don't have enough concentration power, so we normally get slips off easily. Luang Por is talking about all the flies that come around. Do you see? When you laugh, when you were laughing, where were your mind? The mind get lost into joyful. That's the mind so innocent. Don't be too loose, don't be too tense, just know it naturally. Too tight, if your mind is too tight, it means that you are too greedy to be good. If you are too loose, that means the defilement just overtake you. Mostly defilement overtake you into the thinking. Luang Por pointed out to a person, he was lost into thinking. The mind just runs around. Can it run around? Yes. You just know when it slips to run around. Don't wait for it in advance. Don't wait. Let all the feelings arises and know it afterward quickly. And during the observing, you are the observer. Don't get down into be one with the object. When the mind thinks, the mind tends to slip out into the world of thinking. That's not good. That kind of mind is not with yourself. Cannot cultivate wisdom. So the way to be the knower, have a mental object and be aware when the mind slips off. Let it go out first, not like stopping it to go out. Let it go out naturally and know so. So when the mind slips off, know so. Putto, putto, and then you think about something else, then you know it. Notice often and be relaxed. Don't wait for the phenomena in advance and observe it as an observer. And after you saw it, if you like it or you dislike it, just be aware. Otherwise, the mind will fabricate furthermore. Like when you know that the mind is happy with something, just know that the mind is happy. That is good. Can you do this? Just spare your time every day. Every day. This is 2019 already. 15 minutes is not enough. That's many years already. So this year, make it 20 minutes. Hurry up. Otherwise, in the future, when I ask for about 1 hour, you will not be able to do it. So make it 20 minutes each day. And your practice will be one with the daily life. So like when you move any posture, the mind will know. And the wisdom will gradually arises. We know that the mind is and the body is not yourself, it's something else. So in that way, you'll be happy. You don't have to seek for it. Only you don't have suffering, it's happy already. The Buddha didn't teach us to find happiness. But once you are able to cease all the suffering, happiness arises automatically. Happiness until you cry. Now the homework session. Let it be the person who stays at the temple first. The 3 person, your practice is okay. But for this person, your mind is out. Can you notice? For you, the mind lost to think. These 3 person, just observe yourself. Like this is too tight. You pull the mind in. This is too loose for this person. For this person, your mind's so scattered and it's outside. Just be aware. And for this person, you like to focus in. What to do? She said she cannot do anything. And Pa said, you need to do something. Otherwise, you will stay here. What you need to do is to observe whenever you have desire, wanting arises, just be aware. Even wanting to practice, observe it. Okay, where's the number card? Where's the number card? Where's the number card? Where's the number card? High, up high. Up high. He cannot see your number. Okay, maybe. Put it down first. He wonder if he is able to observe the mind correctly. Luang Por said, yes, his mind is a stable observer. He can practice. Okay. But now the mind is not stable. The mind runs to Luang Por. because he is excited, he is nervous. Just be aware that he is nervous. Breathe and be aware. Breathe. And the mind slips to think, be aware. Breathe and the mind slips to the breathing, know so. Number 3. Okay, number 3, stand up. Stand up, stand up. เขาอยากรู้ว่าเขาบอกว่าเวลาที่ไปคอร์สในการปฏิบัติเนี่ยจิตเขาสงบได้รวดเร็วและปฏิบัติง่ายแต่พอออกมาในชีวิตประจำวันแล้วเขารู้สึกว่ามันยากมากเลยเขาจะพัฒนาต่อไปยังไงดี Just go on and practice like you do. It's always difficult in the beginning. When you practice often, this applies to everyone, not only you. Even for the monks, it comes to ordain. The mind is calm, peaceful, but when he go back home, the minds get away, get scattered. It's the same. When you are in a retreat, the environment supports you, but when you go back home, there are a lot of things that attract you. So you have to be patient. So you have to be very diligent. So every day you have to spare the time to practice. Do this often, and the mind will get more strength. Luang Por can do this since he was a lay person. Because Luang Por didn't think that it's too difficult. Just be diligent. Really, don't be lazy. Don't push off, don't postpone. Don't let me do this first. Otherwise, you will not progress. So you really have to be diligent. And your mind will get more strength. And then either to be the lay person or the monks are all the same. 51. She wants to know if her practice is okay. Luang Por said, okay. Is there anything? Luang Por said she controlled too much. Don't control the mind. But for you, if you don't control at all, the mind will get scattered. Just when the mind is busy, be aware. When you control it, be aware. Stay with the breathing. And when the mind slips off, just know so. But don't try to control the mind to stay still. Don't be too stressful. Be relaxed, be natural. It can be natural, it can be busy, it can be peaceful. Just know so. That is good already. She said she has her son, 8 years old. She teaches her son to practice. Luang Por asked where he is. He is quite naughty. When you are teaching a kid to practice, don't control him, don't force him. Just turn on the CD of Luang Por, and so that he can just listen. Just turn on the CD. Number 15. Do you see that you're not the same? And what else? Do you have any question? She said her last time submitting homework was quite a while already, so she wants to submit the homework. She wants to know if the mind is on the right path. Luang Por said, it's good. Her mind overall is better than before. Keep doing. Number 24. question what you have, you know how to practice. He said he normally observes the body mainly. And Paul said, you observe the body, then you see the mind. You practice correctly, so keep doing it. Don't be too loose, don't be too tight. He said the period of practicing, one moment for him shrinks down into like very short moment. Long Pa said, from all the person who submits the homework, this person is the best. And Paul said, but from now on, he will lose his position because he will try to keep the position. For anyone that Long Pa said is good, he'll try to keep that. What you practice is correct, so keep doing it. Number 19. Until this day, there are a lot of people who can practice well. This is her first time submitting the homework. She wants Long Pa to guarantee if she is on the correct path. Long Pa said, oh, you asked for a certificate, huh? We have to observe ourselves, guarantee ourselves. When the defilement arises, do you know it quickly? If you can do that, then that's okay. Just be aware of the defilements. The thing that disturb our life, make our life not happy is not other people. It's our own defilements. So just keep observing the defilements in yourself. Be aware of the defilements. And then we can tell by ourselves if we are progressing. If we can be aware of the defilement, whether it's big or small, then that we can call that we are progress. So go back, practice, and observe your defilements. Do you see that defilements are a lot? Right, if you can see it. If anyone say that I don't have any defilement, that's not good. Otherwise, you are a noble one already. That's not correct. You have to observe the defilements. Like when you are talking to Long Pa, you are acting up, right? You're acting like you are proper to make yourself proper. This is defilement also. Observe it. Number 21. She asked for advice. He asked where you are from. She's from the south. Long Pa asked about the south, which has the tropical storm lately. She said her house was not affected. Long Pa said, that's good. And what are you worried about? When you're in doubt, when you're curious, what should you do? She said, is to ask. When you're curious, just be aware that you're curious. The moment that you recite that I am curious, that is not inside meditation, because that's the thinking already. So when curiosity arises, just be aware. You don't have to think. You don't have to think or recite like I am curious. Don't do that. She asked if she is correct. Lumpur just said almost. She said right now she feels it's tight. Lumpur said yes, just know so. Don't like, I am getting tight, I feel tight, I feel tight. The moment that you get lost into think, you fall off of the path of the meditation already. So you really have to see the actual phenomena. Do you see that the mind gets tight by itself? This is correct. It's not like just reciting in the mind and stay calm and claim that you're practicing. No, that's not the way. She said inside she feels that the mind against it. Lumpur said just be aware, just know so. Just observe it. That's enough. She said she has one more question. She said she feel itchy without knowing the reason on the way here, and she feel the hurt, the ache all over the body. It's like she almost get crazy. Lumpur said, "It's the result of your own karma. Just have to accept it." She said, "How?" She asked how to fix it when she feels restless in the mind. Lumpur said, "There is no such word as fixing for vipassana." So she said she can't bear it. Lumpur said, "If you can't bear it, then do the peaceful meditation. You have to practice a lot more. Forget about your old knowledge. Otherwise, you'll be locked into the state that stays still. Do you see? Your mind just stays still. Let it be natural." Number 16. Anyone paying your attention to number 16? He said he has obstacle of being sad, has some vengeance. He has some incident in the life and it saddened him. Lumpur said we cannot stop it. The mind just remember old memories. When it recalls, then the mind just fabricate all the sorrow. Try to stay with the present. Whatever has passes, just let it go. The past is gone, the future is yet to come. Just have mindfulness at the present. The Buddha said if you have mindfulness at the present, only for one night is worthwhile more than the rest of the life that is lost. When you recall a memory that is sad, you can contemplate on it that everything is temporary. Everything in the world is temporary. Whatever we get depart from what we love is natural. Just teach your mind because the past is ended. It's easier said than done. You have to be very patient. Number 31. He would like to thank Luang Po. He's been listening for He's been listening to Luang Pa's Dhamma for about 8 years, and the life has changed a lot. He used to practice until he sees that he is very, very happy, and very, very happy continuously for several consecutive days. And then he knows that happiness is not permanent. Before, he thought that he could stay happy for long, but he found that it's not that. Luang Pa said, yes, you have to observe it. If you have happiness for a long time, that's not correct. Because the mind of normal person, you can stay happy only for a short moment. He said, now he tried to keep the 5 precepts and stay with the practice every day. But there are the period that his practice get deteriorate. But sometimes progress, so it's like progress and deteriorate. Luang Pa said, correct. The practice is like this. If you progress only with nothing comes down at all, that's not correct. The mind will start to learn, because the mind would struggle to make it progress until one day that the mind sees that it cannot be under control, then it will stop struggling. He asked if there is any further advice. Luang Pa said, don't be stuck in the stillness. He has a son, 10 years old, would like to submit the homework. Luang Pa asked him to stand up. Oh, he's adorable. He said he tends to get daydream. Luang Pa said, just try to be aware that the mind gets daydreamed. It's not I was lost, it's the mind get lost. Like when you want to have some dessert, do you know that the wanting? When you're angry at your dad, do you know? He said sometimes yes, sometimes no. And Pa said that's correct. Just know often. Whatever feelings arise, just know so. His concentration is not enough, so the mind is not at the base, but that's okay. Just teach him to know all the feelings, and then he'll progress gradually. He asked for opportunity for his wife to submit homework as well. Where are you from? Luang Pa asked. He said just Bangkok. She was not sure if she was practicing correctly. She said she was nervous. She didn't think of asking any question in the beginning. She asked if she can practice well. Luang Pa said, just keep practicing. Listen to Dhamma talk and observe your mind. Do you observe that you tend to hold to your thinking strongly? Just observe the moment that you hold on to your thinking strongly, and your mind will get to be more gentle. Just be aware when you might think of something and it hold to it strongly. Okay, that's it. Please go home.